Man, it's getting late here and I haven't done a video yet. Well, let's talk about money. Hope you guys can pay attention. Yeah, no, I shouldn't have brought this up or made this video, but without a doubt, money is the most misunderstood, the most controversial, without doubt, and the most misused thing in this world, if not the universe. If aliens have money, I'm sure maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe they're trading squid tentacles or something. I have no clue what's happening on Uranus or any other planet. But that's beside the point. Money's like water. So, oh my God, there's money. You run it with your bucket and try and catch some rain and get in your bucket, and oh, you've got your bucket of water, and you don't want anybody to touch it, so you keep it safe. You put it somewhere. It disappears all on its own because it evaporates, because birds come along and drink it, because the neighborhood dog comes along and drinks it. If you try to contain money, if you try to keep money in one place, it won't grow. That's an illusion. It'll leak out and evaporate. Period. I don't care if it's in a retirement account, if it's in your bank account, making it 0.0000001%, whatever they're giving out now. It's going to disappear. That's its nature. Try and hold water in your hands. See what happens to it. Try not to spill it. Money is like water. The best thing you can do with money, really, is to keep it moving. And that goes against everything we told as kids. We told you a penny saved is a penny earned. Yeah, right. You put a penny in a bank account in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, it's still going to be a penny in the bank account. You're told, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, that kind of stuff. Well, money does grow on trees. It's called starting a business. All these stupid ideas are, thrown into our brains about money from such a young age. Yeah, the most important thing is to keep it moving. Know that it's limitless. There is, despite what everybody's told you, there is an unlimited amount of money in this world. The government prints money like crazy. The Philippines prints money like crazy. The US government prints money like crazy. Everybody prints money like crazy. You have an unlimited earning potential. Simple. You have a limit on your bills. You can say, I'm not gonna get any more bills, and you can put a limit on your bills. You can't put a limit on how much money you can make. Not only can you get a better job, you could start a business at the same time and do a business and a job at the same time and have two forms of income. You could do odd jobs. You could fix people's computers. You could do handyman work around the neighborhood. You could do all these kind of things and bring in a little bit of extra money. There is no limit as to how much money you can collect, how much money you can make. The successful people in this world realize that. There's a limit to how much you can spend. Trust me. At some point, you get sick of spending money. And the other thing is you think when you have nothing, and there's been periods in my life when I've been fat, busted, broke. I made the other video about eating cheese sandwiches and not being able to turn the lights on at night and not being able to run the air conditioning or the heat and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've been there. I've been counting the pennies and the dimes and whatever. I've been there in my life. Um, but when you get money, it's just a number. That's the weird thing about it. It just doesn't. Once you have enough to pay your bills, it doesn't matter. And someone asked Arnold Schwarzenegger once, Arnold, go to the gym right now. Arnold asked him, how does it feel to be a multimillionaire? Arnold responded and said, it feels just the same as being a millionaire. He actually nailed it in that statement. A number changes on a screen. That's it. A number changes on a screen. And quite often you don't have access to that money right away. Quite often it's locked up somewhere and you got to do this, that, and the other thing to get to the money. It doesn't. It doesn't feel any different. It will never feel different because money does not fix any problems in this world. In fact, quite often it creates problems. I have to say, it's never going to fix problems. Period. It creates problems. Where are you going to put it? How are you going to spend it? It creates problems like that. You're confusing problems and pain. Your bills create pain, yeah. Getting the car towed away creates pain. Having the electric shut off creates pain. Eating cheese sandwiches creates pain. I've been there, I've done that, I've felt it, I've been through it. Yeah, that's pain. It's not just a lack of money. It's just the fact you're not preserving it really. You're not bringing it in. There's no lack to how much income you can make in this world. If you're in a hard spot, and maybe a few people are, find another source of income. Make it another source of income. Use your imagination. Try something that nobody has done before. Look, go into the world tomorrow. Look around you. Open these eyes. You got eyes. Open these eyes. Look around you. Look around you at opportunities. No, I'm not saying rob the bank. Shh, don't do that. Look around you at opportunities and say, hey, that's a really good opportunity to make a legitimate business. Maybe it's, I was thinking the other day at the laundry, why don't they have a coffee shop with a laundromat in it? Because everybody sits at the laundry and they are bored out of their silly little skulls sitting there watching the laundry machine go round and round and round and round. What if you combine Starbucks and a laundromat? Not only would you make money off the laundry, yeah, like a laundromat does, you also make money because that person is captive there. They cannot leave until the laundry is done. They're going to be drinking coffee like crazy and eating snacks like crazy. And you have a second, probably a very reliable source of income from them because when people are in a bakery and they smell the food and they smell the coffee, they can't control those instincts. Look around you at ideas like that. Look around you for sources of income. That is what separates millionaires and successful people from the people who are just going about their lives doing the regular stuff. There is no limit to how much you can make. There's no limit to how much money you can make. There's a limit to how much you can spend. Always remember that. If you go into the world with that attitude, if you go into the world looking for ideas and keeping your eyes open, there is no limit to what you can do with your life.